Hi there, my name is Jeff Sackman. I run the site GMAThacks.com where you can find a lot of great information about preparing for the GMAT as well as some resources that I've created. Today what I want to do is walk through a sample question from the official guide for GMAT Review, 12th edition, the most current edition of probably the best resource available for practicing GMAT problems. These are very accurate representations of what's on the test, so if you don't have this book, take a moment to get this book. The question I want to work through today is from the diagnostic test. It's on page 22. It's question number 13. It's a unique question, but it's one I get asked about all the time. So I wanted to take a moment and show you how to work through it. Even though it's a unique question, there's a lot of general things that are valuable that are worth learning from it. So let's take a moment and read through the question. If s and t are positive integers, that is whole numbers, such that s over t is 64.12, which of the following could be the remainder when s is divided by t? So we know that when s is divided by t, the answer is 64.12, but we don't know what that means in terms of a remainder. We only have it in terms of a decimal. Now, this is a really common sort of general GMAT question. They're asking us to translate from one sort of relationship to another. This is two numbers in a relationship expressed as a decimal. We could also express it as a fraction, as a ratio, or as a number with a remainder. So let's take a brief digression from this specific question and talk a little bit about what a remainder is. You probably learned this in 5th or 6th grade, so it's been a long time. Just to take a simple example, if we divide 5 by 3, or like I like to do it, put it in terms of a fraction right away, 5 divided by 3 is 1, and there are 2 left over. So when you divide it by 3, you're left with 2 that don't go in evenly. We can write this as a mixed number, 1 plus 2/3. That's another way of saying 1 remainder 2. So as soon as we write a number as a mixed number like this, the numerator of the fraction is the remainder. So we can use that information to deal with this question right here. So s divided by t is 64.12. Another way of looking at that is putting it as a mixed number. Instead of 64 plus 0.12, we're going to change that 0.12 to 12/100ths. Same number, just expressed a different way. So here, we turn a fraction into 1.1 plus 2/3. Here, we turn it into 64 plus 12/100ths. Now, using the rationale we did with 1 plus 2/3, you'd seem to suggest that 12 right here is our remainder. We look at the answer choices, there's no 12. So clearly, we're not done. But what we don't know is that t is 100. Going back to this example right here, 5/3 equals 1 plus 2/3, the 3 came straight through. So the denominator here became the denominator here. But that's because 2/3 couldn't be reduced at all. In this case, 12/100ths could be reduced. 64 plus 12/100ths could also be 64 plus 6/50ths, exactly the same number. Or 64 plus 3/25ths. Now that, right here, this is the magic number. We want to reduce the number as much as we can, reduce that fraction so that we can't reduce it any further, and now 3 is our magic number. 3 could be the remainder if t is 25. Lots of relationships going on, lots of numbers on the sheet, but we're almost there. So here, if t is equal to 25, then the remainder is 3. 3 is what's left over. But we go back to the answer choices again, 3 isn't there. But as we've already seen, there's a lot of possibilities. It could be 3/25ths, it could be 6/50ths, it could be 12/100ths. All we know is that the smallest possible remainder is 3, and that's the key to the answer. As soon as we know what the reduced fraction is, we know that any fraction that we change 3/25ths into is going to have a numerator that's a multiple of 3. We could double it and get 6/50ths. We could quadruple it and get 12/100ths. We could multiply it by 10 and get 32/50ths. The possibilities are literally infinite. But there are only 5 choices. There's not much we have to worry about. The common thread through all these possible remainders, 3, 6, 12, 30, is that they're all multiples of 3. We look down to the answer choices, 2, 4, 8, 20. The first 4 choices are not multiples of 3. The last one, choice E, 45, is a multiple of 3. It could be the remainder, and that's our answer. Check out gmathacks.com or my YouTube channel here for more videos explaining various parts of the GMAT. Thanks.